Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Are you ready for an adventure? A super duper mega-sized adventure? Because today we're going on a journey back in time. Way, way back. Can you guess what we're going to learn about? They were big, they were loud, and they roamed the earth millions of years ago. That's right, dinosaurs. Roar! Aren't dinosaurs just the coolest? I think so. We're going to become dinosaur detectives, exploring a super exciting science. I am so excited, my shoes are tapping. Dinosaurs are so fascinating, aren't they? Imagine a world filled with gigantic creatures, some as tall as buildings, and others small and speedy. What would it be like to see a real Tyrannosaurus Rex with its big teeth and tiny arms? Or a long-necked Brachiosaurus munching on leaves from the tallest trees? It's amazing to think about. And guess what? There are special scientists who study these amazing creatures and the world they lived in. They are like super sleuths of the past. Today, we're diving into the world of paleontology. Wow, that's a big word. Can you say it with me? Paleontology? Great job! Paleontology is the super cool science of studying ancient life, especially fossils. And fossils are like clues left behind by dinosaurs and other ancient plants and animals. It's like a giant puzzle, and paleontologists are the puzzle masters. They help us understand what Earth was like a long time ago, even before people were around. Isn't that incredible? In this video, we're going to learn so much. We'll find out what paleontology is all about, discover the special tools paleontologists use to dig for treasure, dinosaur treasure. We'll also learn how they find the perfect spots to dig, what it's like to carefully unearth a giant fossil, and what happens to these amazing discoveries after they're out of the ground. So put on your explorer hats and get your magnifying glasses ready, because we're about to dig up some fun. It's going to be a dynamite adventure. Come on, let's go. All right, explorers. Our first big question is, what exactly is paleontology? Paleontology is the study of ancient life. We're talking millions of years ago. Paleontologists use fossils to learn about ancient creatures and plants. It's like reading a history book written in rock. What an exciting adventure. So, we know paleontology is the study of ancient life and fossils. But why is it so important? Why do we need to know about things that happened millions of years ago? Well, it's super important because it helps us understand the history of our amazing planet, Earth. Think about it. Earth wasn't always like it is today. The continents were in different places, the climate was different, and the plants and animals were very, very different. Paleontology gives us a window into these past worlds. By studying fossils, paleontologists can learn how life on Earth has changed over time. They can see how new species appeared, how some species went extinct, which means they disappeared forever, and how living things adapted to changing environments. This helps us understand big ideas like evolution, how life slowly changes over many generations. It's like looking at a super long family tree, but for all life on Earth. Isn't that a mind-bogglingly cool idea? It helps us see our own place in this long history. Paleontology also helps us understand how Earth's climate has changed in the past. By looking at ancient plants and the types of sediment fossils are found in, scientists can figure out if an area used to be warmer, or colder, or wetter, or drier. This is super important information because it can help us understand how our climate is changing today and what might happen in the future. So by looking way back into the past, we can learn valuable lessons for today and tomorrow. It's like the Earth is teaching us its secrets through fossils. And of course, paleontology is important because it helps us learn about incredible creatures like dinosaurs. Without paleontologists and their hard work, we wouldn't know that Tyrannosaurus Rex had giant teeth, or that Stegosaurus had big plates on its back, or that pterodactyls could fly. Learning about these amazing animals sparks our curiosity and imagination. It makes us wonder about the world and all its possibilities. And who knows, maybe one of you watching right now will become a famous paleontologist and make the next big dinosaur discovery. How cool would that be? Now let's talk about the superstars of paleontology for many of us. Dinosaurs. Roar! Dinosaurs are a group of reptiles that lived on Earth for a very long time, during a period called the Mesozoic era. That era is so long, it's even split into 3 parts. The Triassic, the Jurassic, and the Cretaceous periods. Wow, that's a lot of ice, yes. Dinosaurs came in all shapes and sizes, from a creature as small as a chicken to giants bigger than a bus. Can you imagine a bus-sized animal walking around your neighborhood? Whoa! Paleontologists have discovered so many different kinds of dinosaurs. There were plant eaters called herbivores, like the gentle Brachiosaurus with its super long neck for reaching tall leaves, and the Triceratops with its 3 horns and big frill. And then there were the meat eaters, called carnivores, like the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex with its powerful jaws, and the speedy Velociraptor with its sharp claws. It's so much fun to learn all their different names and imagine what they were like. Which dinosaur is your favorite? I have so many favorites, it's hard to choose. Studying dinosaur fossils tells us so much about them. By looking at their bones, paleontologists can figure out how big they were, how they stood and walked. Some walked on 2 legs called bipeds, and some walked on 4 legs called quadrupeds. They can look at their teeth to see if they ate plants or meat. Plant eaters usually had flat teeth for grinding, and meat eaters had sharp teeth for tearing. It's like being a food detective for dinosaurs. They can even find fossilized dinosaur eggs and nests, which tells us how dinosaurs had babies. And guess what? Paleontologists are still making new dinosaur discoveries all the time. Sometimes they find a new species of dinosaur that no one ever knew existed. Isn't that exciting? It means there are still so many secrets about dinosaurs hidden in the earth waiting to be found. Every fossil, big or small, helps us add another piece to the giant dinosaur puzzle. Learning about dinosaurs through paleontology helps us understand a whole amazing chapter in Earth's history, a time when these magnificent creatures ruled the land. Alright, junior paleontologists, let's talk about the super important tools that real paleontologists use. When digging, paleontologists use big shovels to remove dirt, but near fossils, they must be super careful. Fossils are delicate, even though they're rock. Brushes are essential tools. Paleontologists use various brushes from big to tiny. Brushes help reveal fossils without damage. They are like artists revealing nature's masterpieces. Sometimes the rock around a fossil is really hard. Brushes alone just won't be enough to remove it. So, what do paleontologists use then? They use tools that are a bit stronger but still require a lot of care. They might use small chisels and hammers. Now, these aren't giant construction chisels and sledgehammers. Oh no! The chisels are often quite small, and the hammers are lightweight. Paleontologists use them to carefully chip away at the stubborn rock, bit by bit, getting closer and closer to the fossil. They have to be incredibly precise. It's like being a sculptor, but instead of creating a shape from a block of stone, they are revealing a shape that's already hidden inside. They tap, 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 very gently with the hammer on the chisel, trying to break away the surrounding rock, which is called the matrix, without hitting or cracking the fossil itself. It takes a lot of practice to know just how hard to tap and where to place the chisel. One wrong move and a precious piece of history could be damaged. So much concentration is needed, and it's not just chisels. Paleontologists also use tools that look a lot like what your dentist uses. These are called dental picks or probes. They are small, sharp, and pointy tools, perfect for getting into tiny spaces and carefully scraping away small bits of rock or sediment that are stuck right onto the fossil. Imagine trying to clean a very detailed toy with lots of tiny parts. You'd need a small tool to get into all the little crevices, right? Dental picks are perfect for that delicate work on fossils. These picks and probes allow paleontologists to work with incredible precision, especially when the fossil is very fragile or has lots of fine details, like the tiny bones in a small dinosaur's foot or the delicate veins on a fossilized leaf. They can gently flick away grains of sand or carefully trace along the edge of a bone. It's slow, patient work, almost like a careful surgery on a rock to save the fossil inside. Every little bit of rock removed brings them closer to uncovering the secrets of the ancient past. Wow, such amazing skill. Section 3, sieves and screens, don't miss a thing. Now, when paleontologists are digging, especially in areas where they expect to find smaller fossils, they really don't want to miss anything. Some fossils can be super tiny, like small teeth from little mammals that lived alongside dinosaurs, or tiny fish scales, or even fossilized seeds. If you're just digging with a shovel or even brushing, these tiny treasures could easily get lost in the piles of dirt. So what do clever paleontologists use to make sure they don't miss these little clues? They use sieves or screens. A sieve is like a big kitchen strainer, but usually much larger and stronger. It has a mesh screen at the bottom with holes of a certain size. Paleontologists will take the dirt and sediment they've dug up from around a fossil area and put it into the sieve. Then they shake the sieve, or sometimes they even wash the dirt through it with water. The smaller particles of dirt and sand fall through the holes in the mesh, but guess what stays on top? That's right. Any larger pieces, including small fossils, get left behind on the screen. This process is called screen washing or sieving, and it's super important for finding those microfossils. Micro means very, very small. It's like panning for gold, but instead of gold, they're looking for tiny pieces of ancient life. They carefully examine everything that's left on the screen, looking for anything that might be a fossil. It takes a good eye and a lot of patience, because sometimes these tiny fossils are hard to spot among all the little pebbles and bits of rock. It's a real treasure hunt on a tiny scale. Using sieves helps paleontologists get a much more complete picture of the ancient environment. By finding these small fossils, they can learn about the smaller animals and plants that were part of the ecosystem, not just the big dinosaurs. It's like finding all the little characters in a big storybook. Every tiny tooth or seed tells a part of that ancient story. So sieves and screens are fantastic tools for making sure no clue, no matter how small, gets overlooked in the exciting search for fossils. Wow, look at all these amazing rocks. Can you see them? Some are big, some are small, some are smooth, and some are bumpy. It's like a giant rock party happening right here. Paleontologists, those super cool dinosaur detectives, look at rocks to find clues. They're like rock detectives, searching for hints about where our giant prehistoric friends might be hiding their bones. It's so exciting to think that a simple rock could lead to a huge discovery. Where do paleontologists find amazing dig sites? They look for places where fossil-filled rocks are easy to see. Think big hills, deep canyons, and river-carved landscapes. Erosion helps uncover fossils buried for millions of years. Deserts and badlands are great spots due to minimal plant cover. Paleontologists use detailed maps to find sedimentary rocks. They even use aerial and satellite images for a bird's-eye view. Careful planning and awesome tools help find those dinosaur bones. Finding dinosaurs is a big, big job. It's usually not something one person can do all by themselves. That's why paleontologists often work in teams. They bring all their tools, their knowledge, and their excitement, and they work together like a super-duper dinosaur discovery squad. Hooray for teamwork! Wowie! Look at that, friends! We found our amazing dig site, and guess what? The real fun is about to start! Can you feel the excitement in the air? I know I can! Hidden deep under all this rock and dirt, there could be a real dinosaur fossil waiting for us. Maybe it's a giant leg bone from a Tyrannosaurus rex, or a tiny tooth from a speedy Compsognathus, or perhaps even a whole nest of dinosaur eggs. Oh, the possibilities are just so exciting. We're like treasure hunters, but our treasure is millions and millions of years old. How cool is that? Let's get our explorer hats on tight. Now, when paleontologists start digging, they don't just use giant shovels and dig super fast. Oh no, that wouldn't be very careful, would it? Remember all those special tools we learned about earlier? Like the little brushes, the tiny chisels, and even those dental picks? Well, this is where they become super important. Paleontologists use these tools very gently. They have to be like super sleuth detectives, carefully uncovering the clues hidden in the earth. It's a bit like when you're trying to unwrap a super special present and you don't want to rip the wrapping paper. Every little bit of dirt they move is done with so much care. Why all the fuss, you ask? Why so super careful? Well, these dinosaur fossils are incredibly old, friends. Millions and millions of years old. Can you even imagine that? That's older than your grandparents, older than the oldest trees, older than even the biggest mountains you've ever seen. Because they're so ancient, they can be very delicate. If the paleontologists dig too fast or too hard, the fossil could break into a million tiny pieces. And we wouldn't want that, would we? We want to see the whole amazing fossil. So, slow and steady wins the race when you're digging for dinosaurs. It's all about patience and being gentle. And guess what? Digging up fossils is often a team effort. That's right. Paleontologists usually work together in big teams. It's like having a whole group of explorer friends all working on the same amazing puzzle. Some team members might be carefully brushing away dirt, while others are using small picks to loosen the rock. Some might be taking super important notes, drawing maps of where everything is found, and others might be taking photographs to document every step of the discovery. Everyone has a special job to do, and they all work together to make sure the fossil is uncovered safely. Teamwork makes the dream work, especially in paleontology. Okay, friends, are you ready to see how paleontologists peel back the layers of time? Imagine the ground beneath our feet is like a giant layer cake, or maybe a giant history book. Each layer tells a different story about what Earth was like a long time ago. As they dig, they go deeper into the past. It's like a time machine, but with brushes and trowels. They see how the environment changed over millions of years. These layers are super important. Sandstone might mean a sandy beach or desert. Shale might mean it was once a lake or ocean. Different dinosaur fossils are found in different layers. This helps understand which dinosaurs lived at different times. It's like a giant timeline of life on our planet. All right, explorers, let's talk about that super exciting moment when the fossil really starts to show itself. After all that careful digging and brushing, the paleontologists begin to see the true shape and texture of the ancient bone. Is it long and thin, like a rib bone? Or is it thick and strong, like a leg bone? Maybe it's a pointy tooth or part of a dinosaur's frill. Oh, the suspense. It's like a mystery unfolding right before their eyes. They can start to guess what kind of dinosaur it might have belonged to and what part of its body it was. Every fossil is a clue, a piece of a puzzle from a long-lost world. And while they're uncovering these amazing clues, paleontologists are also super busy documenting everything. This is a very, very important part of being a scientist. They take lots and lots of photographs of the fossil as it's being uncovered from every different angle. They also make detailed notes about exactly where the fossil was found in the layers of rock and what other things were found nearby, like plant fossils or other animal bones. They might even draw maps of the dig site, showing the precise location of each discovery. All this information helps them and other scientists understand the fossil much better later on. It's like creating a detailed instruction manual for their discovery. Sometimes, when a fossil is very delicate or needs to be moved in a big piece, paleontologists do something really clever. They create something called a plaster jacket. Have you ever broken an arm or a leg and had to wear a plaster cast? Well, a plaster jacket for a fossil is kind of similar. They carefully cover the exposed part of the fossil and the surrounding rock with strips of burlap soaked in plaster. When the plaster dries, it becomes hard and strong, protecting the fossil like a sturdy shell. This allows them to safely lift the fossil, even if it's in many pieces, and transport it to the laboratory without it getting damaged. How smart is that? And can you just imagine the thrill, the pure joy of that moment of discovery? Holding a piece of a creature that walked the earth millions and millions of years ago? Wow, it's like shaking hands with history. These paleontologists, these amazing science detectives, are the very first people to see these fossils in all that time. It's a feeling that must be absolutely incredible. They've worked so hard, been so patient, and now they have this amazing reward, a window into the ancient past. Okay, super fossil finders! The paleontologists have carefully dug up amazing dinosaur bones. What happens next? Once out of the ground, fossils are wrapped in plaster jackets and transported. They head to a special place called a laboratory. A paleontology lab is like a super cool workshop and science station. Fossil preparators carefully clean and examine the fossils. Sometimes they use powerful microscopes to see tiny details. Science is truly amazing, isn't it? All right, science explorers, once those amazing fossils are all cleaned up, it's time for the next exciting part, studying them. Paleontologists become detectives, solving the puzzle of ancient creatures. They look at every detail. What shape is it? How big is it? Are there any special marks or textures on it? If it's a bone, they figure out what part of the dinosaur's body it came from. Was it a leg bone, an arm bone, a piece of the skull, or maybe a vertebra from its spine? Every bone tells a story. Then they start comparing the fossil to other fossils that have already been discovered and identified. It's like matching pieces in a giant dinosaur puzzle. They might look at books and scientific papers that describe other dinosaur discoveries, or they might compare it to fossils in museum collections. This helps them figure out what kind of dinosaur the fossil belonged to. Was it a meat eater, like a velociraptor? Or a plant eater, like a triceratops? How big was it when it was alive? How did it move? What did it eat? So many questions, and the fossils hold the answers. It's a thrilling investigation, piecing together clues from the past. Sometimes paleontologists find many different bones from the same dinosaur, or even a whole group of dinosaurs, all mixed together. When that happens, it's like they have a giant three-dimensional jigsaw puzzle to put together. They have to carefully figure out how all the bones fit together to reconstruct the dinosaur's skeleton. This can be really tricky, especially if some bones are missing or broken. But by studying the shapes of the bones and how they connect, they can slowly rebuild the dinosaur bone by bone. Imagine the excitement of seeing a dinosaur skeleton take shape right there in the lab. It's like bringing the dinosaur back to life in bone form. And from these ancient bones, we can learn so much. Paleontologists can learn about how dinosaurs grew, how they walked or ran, and even what kinds of illnesses or injuries they might have had. By studying their teeth, they can figure out what they ate. By studying their footprints, which can also become fossils, they can learn about how they moved in herds or hunted their prey. Every fossil discovery adds another piece to our understanding of these magnificent creatures and the world they lived in. It helps us learn about the history of life on Earth and how our planet has changed over millions and millions of years. Amazing! After all that hard work, what happens to these incredible dinosaur fossils? They go to a museum. Have you ever been to a museum? Museums are filled with fascinating things from history, art, and science. Many have incredible dinosaur exhibits with real fossils or life-sized models. It's a place where everyone can learn about these prehistoric giants. Fossils are carefully prepared before display. Sometimes real bones are too fragile or heavy. Experts make exact copies using lightweight materials. These casts look real but are safer for display. Real fossils are kept safe for further study. This way, everyone can see what they look like. Have you ever stood next to a giant dinosaur skeleton? It's an incredible experience. You can see how enormous they were. Imagine a T-Rex towering over you, or a Brachiosaurus so tall its head touches the ceiling. It makes you think about when they roamed the earth. Museums bring the world of dinosaurs to life. It's like stepping back in time. Museums are for everyone. Anyone curious can visit a museum. Sharing knowledge is important. Paleontologists dig up fossils so we can all learn. Remember the hard work behind every fossil you see? Wowie! What an amazing adventure we've had today, digging into the world of dinosaurs and paleontology. We learned so much together. Paleontology is the super cool study of ancient life, especially dinosaurs. We saw all the special tools paleontologists use. They find dig sites, dig up fossils, and put them on display in museums. Dinosaurs are the coolest. Keep asking questions, friends. Keep learning, dream big, and never stop being curious. Thank you for joining me on this exciting expedition. Until next time, keep smiling, keep learning, and keep exploring. Bye-bye, everyone. See you super soon. Woo!